A peer review report is one of the most consequential documents in academic publishing. It shapes whether a paper gets published, how it gets improved, and what the editor can defensibly decide. Yet most researchers who agree to their first review have never been shown what one actually looks like. This is video 20 in the Peer Review Mastery series from Zenith Publications. Today, how to write a peer review report, the structure, the sections, and what editors actually need to see. A well-written review report follows a predictable structure. 5 sections, in this order. Section 1. A summary of the paper. Section 2. The overall assessment and recommendation. Section 3. Major concerns, numbered. Section 4. Minor concerns, also numbered. Section 5. A confidential note to the editor, optional, rarely needed. Not every journal uses exactly this format, but the logic is universal. Starting with a summary, moving to the recommendation, and then to the numbered concerns, in that order, produces a report that is clear, usable, and professional. The report opens with 3 to 5 sentences summarizing the manuscript in the reviewer's own words. This is not a copy of the abstract. It is an independent reading of what the paper investigates, what methods it uses, and what the authors claim to have found. This section does 2 things. It shows the editor that the manuscript was actually read and understood. And it signals to the authors whether the reviewer grasped the contribution accurately, which matters when the authors prepare their response. If the summary misrepresents the paper, the authors can correct it. That correction gives the editor useful information about how clearly the manuscript communicated its contribution. After the summary, state the recommendation directly, not in the final paragraph, before the detailed concerns begin. 1 sentence. I recommend major revision. I recommend rejection. I recommend acceptance subject to minor revisions. Direct. Unambiguous. Editors need a clear recommendation to make a defensible decision. A report that lists serious concerns across 4 pages and then recommends acceptance in the checkbox creates a contradiction the editor must resolve. State the recommendation that matches the concerns. The recommendation is advisory. The final decision belongs to the editor. But the clarity of the recommendation is the reviewer's responsibility. Major concerns are the core of the review report. Each concern receives a number. Numbered concerns make the response task manageable for authors. They address 1, 2, 3 in sequence, and make it easy for the editor and the reviewer to track what was resolved in the revision. Each concern follows a consistent structure. Name the problem. Explain why it matters for the validity or contribution of the paper. Suggest what would address it, additional analysis, a clarification, a missing citation, a methodological explanation. Page and line references make concerns actionable. The methodology section lacks detail, is weaker than, the methodology section, page 7, lines 34 to 52, does not specify the sample size calculation or the criteria for participant exclusion. Specific concerns produce specific responses. The language of a review report must critique the work, not the researchers. 4 practical reframes. This paper is wrong about X, becomes, the claim on page 5 requires additional supporting evidence because the cited study does not directly address this population. The authors don't understand the literature, becomes, the introduction would benefit from engagement with recent work on this topic, particularly studies published after 2022. This needs major work, becomes, 3 concerns require attention before the manuscript is ready for publication. The principle is the same in every case. Address the manuscript specifically, not the researchers generally. Constructive language produces constructive revisions. 3 mistakes that produce unhelpful review reports. Vague concerns. The paper needs improvement. This tells the authors nothing and gives the editor nothing to work with. Every concern must be specific enough that the authors know what to do. Unbalanced reports. 12 problems, nothing that works. A review that acknowledges what the paper does well is more useful, not less rigorous. Editors use positive observations too. They inform the positioning of the final decision. Inconsistent recommendations. Fatal flaws in the comments alongside an acceptance recommendation create a contradiction. The recommendation must match the concerns. The sequence. Read the paper fully, write the summary, state the recommendation, number the major concerns, add the minor concerns, submit. A good review report is specific, constructive, numbered, and internally consistent. The authors should finish reading it knowing exactly what to do. The editor should finish reading it knowing exactly where the reviewer stands. Video 21 covers major versus minor revisions. how to decide which category a concern belongs in, and how to frame feedback that is firm without being obstructive. Subscribe at youtube.com/@Zenith Publications and visit zenithpublications.com for all published articles and submission guidelines.